All right, good morning, guys. Today is March 16th, and as usual, we'll be going over analysis for US 30, gold, and EU. So currently, the only trade I'm in is EU. So I'd sent this EU markups in the Discord this morning. So if you look at the Discord, Forex Majors, I had sent this markup. So unfortunately, sorry guys, I sent the markups a little bit late because I was catching up on a TV show that I really wanted to finish. So this actually markup happened before news. So ideally, if I was trading this before news, I would have set a pending buy order here. But then what I did after seeing this rejection, so I'll go back to the chart. After seeing this happen right here, but keep in mind, EU is still bearish right now, and we just had news release for EU right now at 9:15. We still have a 9:45. So in 6 minutes, we might have some volatility with EU. So if you're in this trade, make sure to understand that we can get faked out to the downside and price comes back up, or price can go straight to TP. So if you're entering this trade, do not enter with a big lot size because we have this conference. So keep in mind, whatever happened here at 9:15, they'll be discussing the result of that at 9:45. So let me see. So what happens, this is like the FOMC meeting release, right? We normally have FOMC released at like 2 p.m. Whatever day it is, Eastern Standard Time, and then we have the conference where they talk about what happened. So this is heavy news for EU. Guys, give me a quick second. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, so this is ideally like that FOMC conference, but this is for EU. So be careful if you're in this trade, do not use a big lot size. And just know that they can even drive price down here, pick up liquidity and come back all the way up. But I'm in this position right now. So US 30, you can see it's respecting the trend line I just drew. I know Marcus asked about that. So US 30, and I know I forget, I probably should get the name of him. I know there's this one guy who's been trading trend lines and he's making money each. Like yesterday, I think he made like 1,800. So once you draw this trend line, you can always make money from this spikes up, right? And here we had this bullish candle. So let's see how big of a candle it was, 679. Yeah, so this is ideally not an ideal bullish hammer candle because it has a little wick to the top, but you can see this whole wick rejecting from the trend line. So I do anticipate this to be established as a high low. Now, Marcus, I know you asked about a trend line going up. So right now we cannot
So
draw.
I kind of zoomed out a little bit. If you zoom out a little bit, like I saw something, a trend line going up that way. Like if you were to zoom
What?
out on the chart, on your chart there,
Mm-hmm.
like keep zooming out right there, that lower low, right where you're, yeah,
This one?
that one. I drew it all the way up to that one up there.
Yeah,
Yep.
so I mean it's possible that US 30 comes back, goes all the way up there because it doesn't always have to complete structure. But drawing a trend line like this, I would consider this like a cross trend line. You have to be either lucky or very good at drawing trend lines because for you to actually, so for me to actually draw this trend line, I it's always hard to draw a trend line if you only have one point to start from. For me, it's easy. So I always wait for, so if I was drawing this trend line up here, I would have waited for this lower low to be formed and then I draw the trend line to there. But right now, if I were to do this, literally, I'm just hoping that this is established as a lower low. But until that happens, you cannot draw this trend line. So similar to here, right? You could have drawn this trend line after this one was established as a lower low. But for me, I need like 3 touches for a trend line to be confirmed. So I wouldn't, unless you can practice with it. But for me personally, I don't look at drawing trend lines from this area. Now, if this price does hold here and we have another retest on the uptrend, sure. At the end of the day, I'll come here and draw that trend line, cross trend line going up. But right now, I'm not focusing on drawing a trend line from all the way here, which is when maybe 5 hours ago. No, no. Wait, this is 6th March. March 15th, March 16th. Like this, you're ideally crossing from one day to another. So I'm not interested in what happened, a trend line that's forming on the daily, because this is ideally you're drawing a daily trend line. So for me, I'm interested on the 5 minutes. So this is what I'm looking at, exactly whatever is on my chart. Not to say that you cannot do that, but personally, I'm just looking at whatever is immediately to the region that I'm trading at. So still in this trade up. So I'm going for 50 pips. 740, I'm up. Oh, damn, good. I'm up 20 pips. So if you're in this trade with me, you should secure at break even. So this trade should be break even. So yeah, the reason I re-entered this trade, so I saw that retest down here when news happened. Unfortunately, that's when I was just sending out the charts. And then I saw this was the news candle. It wicked up, wicked down. Initially, I wanted to set a pending order here, but I saw that price had rejected here, the middle, and this one, right? So remember, when trading news, always wait for the closure of the first 5-minute candle. So this was the news candle. So I waited for this bearish candle to close. Now, what I did there, I just set a pending order for myself here, because this is a daily demand zone, if I'm not wrong. And now it's 9:45. That's when the conference is starting. So this is a daily demand zone. I just remember because I went back today and marked it up. So this was a daily demand zone. So when I saw this bearish candle coming down and I saw that EU, ideally we had a big drop yesterday. So ideally right now I'm looking for EU to move back up. A red flag was news, and also we had this death cross right here. But what I did, I just honestly just set a pending order and I got filled in when this candle came back up. So that's how I entered that one trade. US 30, let's see if there's any. I'm still looking, anticipating US 30 to go down.
So how do we enter off those trend lines?
So you
Just on
just,
impulse?
it depends, right? So for me, when I trade trend lines, yes, I'm trading on impulse, but it has to be on the in the direction of my bias, right? You can trade both ways on a trend line, up, down, up, down, up, down, but just know in one trade you're gonna get burnt when price actually breaks above or breaks below. So when using the trend line, so remember for me, how do I use the trend line? I use the trend line to recover any losses that I have, right? So for me, an example, right? If I enter, uh, let me try and get like a stop loss position. So let's say I enter a short here. No, I'm sorry, a long. Wait. I'm trying to do a short position. Okay, so let's say I enter a short position here, or in the middle, right? Ideally, where you should never trade in between a channel. I enter a short position here. What happens? I get stopped out, right? A lot of people, once you get, and I'm anticipating US 30 to go down, and I haven't drawn these trend lines. Or let me assume I've drawn the trend lines, but I'm just forming into trades. A lot of people, you get stopped out. I enter with a bigger lot size, I get stopped out. I enter with a bigger lot size, I get stopped out. So for me, the reason I use trend lines, if I know US 30 is going down, or if I'm expecting it to go down based on my analysis, and I get an entry here, either with my strategy or I just FOMO'd in, and then I get stopped out. Honestly, what will I do? I have this trend line that I drew here. I'll just come here. I'll just literally wait for the tap of the trend line. I'm not going to wait for any confirmation because ideally my analysis is showing me that US 30 is supposed to go down. So I'll enter that bigger lot size that I should have FOMO'd, or that a lot of people FOMO in with. I'm going to come here and I'm going to enter on impulse. So I showed you guys this, I think 2 days ago, when we were buying US 30, and then when it tapped a trend line, I told you guys I'm buying US 30. Yeah, so that's how personally I use the trend line. I just the other days when I've started just trading with the trend line, because I'm starting a new strategy where I'm not looking at any markups. I'm literally only trading the trend line. So you can trade both ways with the trend line, but just be careful, because at one point you'll get burnt, because right here you can buy US
Yeah, I was
30.
about to ask you just that question. I said, is it gonna be a buy right now?
Yes, but again, we are using our bias is a sell for US 30. So if you buy and you get stopped out, make sure that we are looking for sells on US 30. But I'm showing you that you can make money from this trend line easily. But you
How
have to
many
be.
times would you use it? Like, okay, if you use it like 3 times, you're gonna go ahead and use it the fourth time to sell? So you're just gonna keep going back to the well, or no?
No. So for me, I'm looking for, I wouldn't be buying this. So I'm looking for the trend line to tap up here for,
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, so I see it tap 2 times right now. If it taps a third time on the top of the trend line, would you sell again? Like, how many times would you say, okay,
if
that's enough?
so remember, I don't use trend lines as a primary confluence. I only use markups as a primary confluence. Trading with the trend line is a risky, let me repeat that. Trading with the trend line is a risky thing. It's only if you just want to have fun with the market. It's not something I encourage you to do unless you're good at it. Now, if I'm just trading with the trend line, I'm going to trade the trend line every single time it touches. So I'm going to buy, I'm going to be selling. That's like being in a casino. So to answer your question, but remember, for me personally, how I use the trend line with my strategy is only to recover a trade that I'm losing or a trade that I've lost. Other than that, I'm just having fun, like literally. Yeah. So
I
if you,
gotcha.
yeah. So if you guys want to do the trend line, I mean, that's fine, but just have a bias for your trade, or just go ahead and keep having fun with it, because right there you could have made, that's 12, you could have made an easy 20 pips, or 20 points. So for me, US 30 right now, I'm looking for sales. Right now, if this trend line gets broken and retested, I am going to sell US 30 because I'm still looking for US 30 to sell. But so long as this trend line holds, I am not looking for any sell. We don't have any bearish markups around this zone for US 30. So similar to yesterday, we didn't have any trades. And you guys can see how the price is more being attracted more to the lower trend line, not to the upper trend line. So this again signifies a downtrend, because we really haven't had any good touch on the upper trend. So right now they're just squeezing price, and then you'll probably see a break to the downside, a retest. Now, if it breaks and retests, yes, I'll sell US 30. But right now I don't see any trade on US 30. Gold, we had a pending gold sale yesterday at, what was that? And we got missed like literally
It was
by,
38 something.
yeah, so we had 38.50. I don't know, 38 some. No, I think it was 39. Let me go back. Commodities. The first one was 38.5. Yeah, 38.50. So we got missed by literally just a few cents. I mean, that's fine. But we caught, so our EU sell, our EU buy. Yeah, so that was the trade on gold yesterday. Like, price missed filling us. I think take profit was 50 pips or something. So this is how close price almost filled us in. But I mean, that's fine. Whatever happens, happens. But yesterday we caught this EU buy. I don't remember the exact price, but we caught EU yesterday. Yeah. Wait, did I not? Okay, EU trade hit full TP. Oh, interesting. I didn't send a screenshot. I think I might have sent it in the general chat. Yeah, but the EU buy from 1054.21 hit full TP for 50 pips. So right now, if US 30 breaks that trend line, you guys let me know. 54.21, we had a buy. What was that? I think it was 500 or 50 pips and 50 pips, if I'm not wrong. Yep. So that was the EU trade from yesterday, went to full profit. So we took it from this 4-hour bullish high. It was a pending feeler. We had another pending feeler, or a second order, but price didn't come low enough to tap us in. So easy 50 pips from yesterday. So at least we got that one trade yesterday. For EU today, this is the only trade. I don't know if anybody got into this trade with me. I'm still in that trade. Oh, there you go. So I entered personally with a 2 lot, and as usual, my MT4 is frozen. So I think, honestly, I think it's this trend lines that are making my MT4 freeze. So I'm up 30 pips or 40 pips with a 2 lot, actually 30 pips, 35 pips. So when it gets to that lower high, honestly, I'll just close out this trade. And you can see price is rejecting from there. So I'll be closing that trade when it touches there. Okay, let me not be greedy. I just closed that EU trade at that price. Yeah, so I'm loving EU lately. So, and let's see, and this is 50 pips, right? With a 10 lot, this is $5,000. With a 5 lot, this is $2,500. And you see, I just waited for the first news candle to open. The next buy would have been down here, but remember, so when we are trading this zone, so we had this bullish high and bullish low zone, right? Which we actually traded yesterday. But if you guys remember, let's see. If you guys remember, how do we attack these zones, right? Whether it's a demand zone or supply zone or whatnot, or a bearish high, bullish, bearish high, bearish low, bullish high, bullish low, we divide these zones into three. And whenever price has what is it called, whenever price has tested, so we divide these zones into three. So whenever price has retested the top, the middle, and the bottom, ideally we don't trade that zone anymore, because ideally either when price comes back down there, it's going to break through. So similar to this zone at the very bottom, I think actually this is a new zone, so this is the next buy area. Let me not make that mistake that cost us the US30 trade. So this zone hasn't been tested yet, because if we look at it, this is a new zone I drew yesterday. And the last time it was tested or price was around here was yesterday, March 15th. Today is March 16th. I don't think yesterday, let me check. I don't know if yesterday we had that zone. If we did have that zone, then we might ignore that when price comes back. Bullish low, bullish high. So no, this is today. Let me go to yesterday's. I hope I sent that out. Okay, so let's see what we have. Okay, so even yesterday we did have that zone, but this zone for yesterday was 48.21. Let's see how low this goes. 48.21. So this is that zone from yesterday. This is between 53.32. I just want to make sure if this is a new zone or old zone. 53.29, 51.62. 53, 51.62. Okay. So 53, 29, 51.62. So this is a new zone. So this is a new zone, so we can still catch buys down here. Okay, so, but I know this 4-hour bullish high and bullish low. This one was definitely there yesterday when we were trading. So I knew that this zone has already been ideally tested, the top, the bottom, and the middle. So I really wasn't expecting price to come back down here. So the only zone that was close for me, and I was expecting EU to go up, was this zone that I had drawn. So that's when I waited for the first 5-minute candle. So this was the news candle. Wait for the next, or maybe I should say the next 5-minute candle after news to close. It's closed as a strong bearish candle. So what I did, I set a pending order down here, and then that's how I got filled into that trade. US30. So look at that, still rejecting, but this is fine. So for US30, this is the zone I would be looking to buy US30 at right here. So how big is this zone? 504. So if it comes here, it might create a double bottom because we have a previous daily low here. So this is 504 to 448. So ideally it's a 50 pips zone. So for me here, what I would be looking, so this zone hasn't been tested because it was created yesterday. So divide this zone into three. If it's a 50 pip zone, I'll call it 505. I'll call this 445. Let's see. All right, 75, so around here. So the three trades for US30 will be the top of this zone. 50. So the first trade is a filler trade, so meaning that it is a small trade That's not gonna hurt you. You can put so here, since this is a 50 pip zone, put stop loss below the previous daily low or below this trend line. So that would be the first trade. So 50 pips or 50 points. I'm gonna start calling them points because I'm tired of interchanging. So, and I can send these zones to the group later if price doesn't fill us in during the live session. The next one is the middle. This one you can use a bigger lot size. So keep in mind, this is a 50 pip zone, and US 30 can clear that in one 1 minute candle. So, and then the last trade on US 30, actually, here's what we'll do. This zone, since it's a very small zone, I don't recommend using 3 trades. Let's just do 2 trades. No need to risk for 3 trades for 50 pips because we have a zone here and we have a zone here that US 30 can still come down to. Yeah, so you can see, you can play with the trend line. I might start playing with it, but I like doing that on my own when I'm not on the live session because I don't want anybody to FOMO. EU, we have nothing else left for EU. So that one trade we took. We have no zones around here. So we have a bullish, okay, we have a 30-minute bullish low and 30-minute bullish high. Again, I don't like playing around with the 30-minute and 15 minutes if they're by themselves. But here my bias is for a buy. So we had this candle, hourly candle, close above the 9 EMA. So this is the first time in a while that an hourly candle, actually wait, so this candle closed below the 9 EMA, this bullish candle, and you can see there's a lot of buyers here. So if price comes down, I wouldn't look to re-enter a buy in this zone. So for any buy for EU, I'll wait down here to be safe. Gold, so gold still, yesterday's levels for gold still hold. But you can see in here we have an overlapping supply zone. So if gold does come back up here, so let's see, it's been trending up. Let's go on the daily and see the difference. So on the daily, gold is still up. So we can, I see us creating a possible double top. So even on the daily, yeah, this zone right here, to be honest, I think this zone is the best sell zone. So around 1951, if we were to catch any sell on gold, because this is 50 and this is 39. So this is like 110 pip area. So let's divide this zone into 257, 80, 38. So I'll call that 58 and 38. That's 20. So around 48 is the middle of the zone. Let's see where the middle lies. Okay. Yeah, so honestly for gold, the first sell on gold, I'll correct yesterday's levels or I'll edit them. So this is how I would take this trade around 1948. Try to write that down for 38 for 100 pips. And then the next sell would ideally be this zone right here. So this zone is 55, this zone is 50. So the next one would be the bottom. This one I would try to write maybe for 200 pips. And then, of course, the very last sell would be at the top of this zone, which is around 1957, 80. This one, same thing, like around 200 pips. Wait, did I get that right? I think I messed something up. Oh, wait. Okay, that's better. Yeah, so those are the trades on gold. I'll edit them out but you know, we have a long while before gold gets here. If you still want to enter at 19 at the trade levels from yesterday, like 1938.50, sure. But if gold, when gold breaks highs, you know, it normally shoots heavily up. So okay, let me see if I can get anything to ride US 30 to the downside. If nothing is there, then you know, nothing is there, no need to force anything. I'll go to the 1 minute.
There was a bearish like 5-minute candle on US 30 there. Was that valid for a sell? It was not too long ago. It was right to your left there.
This one.
Hold on, which one was it again? I was just curious if it was a valid sell or not. Hold on, let me see. Just looking at my chart. Where was it? Shit, where'd it go?
Now, if I get
Yeah.
inverted bearish hammer or bearish hammer, I will take that. But right now, because when you say candles, I'm guessing that's what you're referring to.
Yeah. I don't know where I saw one here somewhere a second ago.
I'm
Not
glad I
bad.
got out of this trade. Did anybody get in for EU at any time?
Nope.
All right. Yeah. So today's for me today's a slow day. Yeah, like all I'm seeing is just any trading right now would ideally be forcing a trade. But so let me see if I'll get any entry for US 30. So for US 30, I need this trend line to be broken and retested. And ideally, I think this might happen here. I think they might use this bullish high as a bearish zone. Because if I'm looking to buy US 30 here, I really don't want to waste this distance here. So I'd be looking to ride price down. But for me to do that, I need an entry to ride price down. So the other thing that I see is if I'm looking for that, what I can see here, I can see this being established as a lower high. So that's a hanging trend line. But so for this hanging trend line, we don't have any other trend line to the downside.
It's getting close to the 30-minute bullish high.
Yeah, but for me personally, I don't trade this. So you can catch this to the upside, but for me, I'm looking for a sell on US 30. So it's good where it's at, and again, it's on the trend line. Now, the only risky thing here, again, I've seen this bullish zones being used as bearish zones. So it can literally break down at this point, retest and shoot down. So if you're gonna make a buy on this trend line and this bullish high here, just make sure you secure your trade properly in case it goes against you. Because remember, this is not any of our setups. Like we don't have any setups. The only setups we had for today was EU, which is that trade that I took. Gold is moving too slowly. Yeah, so it's only US 30. So for me, in any case, the trend line that I would try to trade US 30 with would be this one. Now, even this one is a risky trend line because ideally I'm assuming that this one will be set as a lower high because ideally this is a hanging trend line. So I'm assuming that after 5 candles, this area will be set as a lower high. And if that's the case, if price comes back and retests the trend line, and this one is supposed to be a lower high in future, when I sell US 30 on this trend line, price will go down. So that, it's a very risky trade in my opinion, because we're trading in no man's land. We're trading with a hanging trend line. And sure, price can, as you see, price can come to this trend line and reject all the way up. So yeah, so right now is the best time for anybody who has questions. I mean, we've been catching profits every day, so I'm not really looking to force anything. Yeah, gold ideally is dead. But this is very suspicious for gold. I mean, it's very, very sus for gold. Now, if gold comes here, around 1912 and 1909, I will probably look for a buy around that zone. But that's
I
a whole way down. I'm
I
sorry.
have a question about gold.
Mm-hmm.
So I noticed that yesterday in my evening time, like around nine-ish
Mm-hmm.
Eastern time. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
sure what time that will be on your chart exactly. The gold dropped like crazy, and I wonder why. There was like no major news, nothing, and this is not the first time I noticed the gold drop at that time. It's just like constant daily it drops at that time.
9 p.m., right? Eastern time.
Yes,
Yeah. So even for me, like when I used to trade with EAs and all of that, I did notice that.
you can see it
So
like right there where it says low, high, low, low.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, 9. Honestly, I do not know.
That's
I
like
never.
daily, every single day. If you look at that time, gold was dropping like crazy.
Yeah, but one thing I can think about, so ideally Asian session opens what at 7 or 6 p.m. Eastern time. So I think liquidity is just getting into the market at 9. I don't know. Maybe that's my, because if you think about it, US session
US 30
opens.
just closed below that trend line there. Just giving
Okay,
you a heads
perfect.
up.
So if this candle closes below, I'll take a sell. If it closes as a bearish candle. But ideally, you want a perfect retest to enter. So for me, this is just an early entry. So we have 4 minutes. So that's what I was talking about this trade. They've in the past have seen these zones used as a bearish zone. But to answer your question, ideally, same thing, right? US session starts at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, but we don't get liquidity until 9:30. So, and I know 9:30 is ideally when the stock market is opening. So I'm thinking it's kind of something similar with the Asian session. I don't know when the stock market opens over there. But yeah, so I've definitely seen more liquidity at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for gold. Now, if you have a good setup, yes, that's a good time to take it. But for me, I only trade the New York session. I really don't want to spend my days trading. So if you enter on impulse, again, always manage your risk. I do not promote entering on impulse. I do it myself, but when I do it, I wouldn't tell you guys because I don't want people to FOMO in. So ideally, the best thing, and that's what when I sent in the group yesterday, you need to put a sticky note on your computers, saying to stick to your strategy. So for me, I need this candle to close below this trend line. And you can see it's testing that trend line exactly. Because the worst thing you can do, I mean, we still have like 3 minutes to go. You can enter a sell here, and then this bullish high actually acts as a bullish high, and US 30 shoots all the way up from here. And ideally, you can see how low US 30 is. So this is not one of those trades you would want to get trapped in because it might shoot up and never come back until the end of the year or something. So for me, I need this candle to close. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, it's the same trend line I have on me. Let's see. So still 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. If it doesn't close as a bearish candle, I am not looking to do anything. And we see we might get an inverted bearish hammer, possibly. So that's 610 to 587. So this is a 23 pip wick. Not ideally what I would want in a bearish hammer, but it's going in the direction of our expectation. So 1.5 minutes. That's fine. I think gold is still going. Yeah, so I definitely see gold still going up. EU is still going. Tested the high of this zone. I wouldn't have entered this trade because already this whole zone ideally has been tested. Yeah, not sure that's gonna, but if it closes as a bearish candle, US 30 will dip heavily because you can see it's only 30 seconds. But there's definitely sellers up there, and you can see that back and forth. Yeah, so unless it reverses heavily, I don't see any entry there. Now this is a conundrum, right? It's closed, it's retesting the 30-minute bullish high exactly. It's fine. I'm not looking for any buys, so the high of that candle is, the alternative is that we get a inverted bullish hammer. So 612. Yeah, so I wouldn't count that as a bullish hammer. But when we drop, we'll definitely get liquidity. So no need to just get trapped into back and forth. Because you can either, you can do buys and sells here, but ideally you'd be in and out of profit every second. So you want to trade that once you get in, it's straight into profit, or or even straight into stop loss. But if it's a valid trade, you shouldn't worry about hitting stop loss. All right, so we have another 5 minutes. Again, if anybody has any other questions, go ahead and ask. Today's a slow day. So this week has, despite all the news, this week has been very slow. So it's again very suspiciously slow. So we might, I don't know. I don't see any other things that may get the market moving. Yeah, and these candles are not even moving. So if our take profit is like 50 pips, these candles are like 24, 25 pips.
Gotta love the no man land.
Yeah, so here, I mean, definitely this is a point of interest for US 30, but too much fighting going on between buyers and sellers. Yeah, but definitely I'm looking for price to go down here, to go down to this demand zone. I need to check how, I know Steven is the one who uses this magnet tool. Honestly, I don't know how to use it. I need to look up how to use it so that we can be putting this where we expect price to go. Anyway, I'll look up how to use that later. It's a pretty cool tool. Yeah, today is ideally a slow day. So this is the perfect day to just set your pending orders, because I see like just having a lot of maybe wanting to trade, and then even though there's no setups, you can just get caught in fake outs. So today is the best day to just set your pending orders and let it ride. This is the only trade that I marked up on the live session. When the live session was starting, I think we were on this candle right here, this second candle, because I was filled into the position ideally during market open. So there was still some opportunity for somebody to ride this up, but we had news for EU, and I did mention that. But that's the only trade that I've taken or I've marked up today. Yeah, there's nothing here. 1 minute maybe might tell us something. Yeah, even on the 1 minute, and you can see this is what you don't want. Price is just being attracted to the 9 EMA. So you don't want that. So we have 43 seconds for that candle to close. So I need a closure below and a retest of a candle. Yeah, but I can, US 30 is bearish. It's, you know, we are below the 9 EMA, we are below the 200 EMA. So gold is mixed. EU, I think, is mixed as well. C12.
Just caught a snipe with the trend line on gold real quick. 200.
Oh, nice, nice, nice. Wait, what's your name again? I know your voice. I know you're the one who's doing all this. Okay, and you can see that gap to the bottom. What's your name?
It's Livy.
You say Smithy?
Livy.
Oh, Livy?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Livy is the one who's been killing it with those trend line markups. So yesterday, I know you did like, what was that? Maybe 12 or so trades, made like 1,600 off of the trend lines. So if you know how to play the trend lines, that is perfect. So for me personally, when I get an exact retest of the trend line, I will enter a sell. If I get an exact and it holds above. So for me to do that, I'll go in the 1 minute. So I don't need a candle that blasts through the trend line. So I need an exact test. So I don't need a candle like that. So I need a candle. So I definitely want to see some
Yeah, I know how you
rejection.
just said you don't need a candle like that, but I find that sometimes those candles help because if it goes through like that and comes all the way back down and reject, to me, that's a good sign.
Yeah, but you can see this uptrend right here, right? Like I need my entries, because this trend line has been tested to the T like multiple times. So I need a candle that retests exactly. So, and here I'm even being more cautious because this is the only strategy that I'm using, and it's one of the weakest strategies because there's no markups around here. So either that or look at that, retest exactly of the 30-minute bullish high. And I know that sometimes these zones are used as bearish zones, but I need a perfect retest. I don't need anything breaking up, even for a pip or 2 pips. So I need a perfect retest because I'm not trying to hold a trade in drawdown, especially
I
today.
got you. I
Yeah.
got you.
So I need a perfect retest and perfect closure. But you can see how US 30 is opening with gaps to the bottom. So it's ideally a waiting game. Now, if you can, I would say this, if you can stomach a drawdown of, where's the next trend line that we drew? If you can stomach being in drawdown, ideally I would say to the 9 EMA, because I can see price coming and retesting the 9 EMA. If you can stomach 637, this is ideally a 40 pip drawdown. If you can stomach that, I mean, sure. But ideally nowadays, the other thing I've noticed nowadays, I'm only taking like 2 or 3 trades a day. I used to take sometimes 8 or 10. So when I'm trading, I'm only looking for like ideally something that makes sense. But you can see ideally we're in a downtrend for US 30. It's just that I need that confirmation. Because right now, if I did enter that trade, I would be in drawdown almost halfway. So no need to push anything.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, what I do is effective, but it takes way more trades.
Yep. It takes, yeah, you're gonna win some, you're gonna lose, you're gonna win more than you lose. And you also need like proper, risk management. Okay, so remember our entries, right? Retest of a trend line, retest of structure, or retest of the 9 EMA. So if this doesn't work, which it's not working, we have the 9 EMA coming up, but we also have this trend line that's up there that's lining up with structure. So in any case, this might be so this is the most optimum trade for US 30. Because if we do the 9 EMA, we ideally again in no man's land. So here is a much safer. So this zone, so we're anticipating this to be a lower high, and this should materialize after 5 candles. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if the actual candle is counted. So maybe at the closure of this candle, this is going to be established as a lower high, and which is perfect. I mean, which is what we've been expecting this whole time. So the perfect sell is going to be up here. The next one is on the retest of the 9 EMA. The other one would have been here, but this trade would be in drawdown. So I'll just leave this up here for now and just wait this to be confirmed. Now, if this gets confirmed as a lower high, we drop to the 1 minute. So on the 1 minute, it's already confirmed as a lower high. So you can see where price is going. Price is going to that zone that we've marked up. Because if this has been confirmed as a lower high, this trend line is ideally confirmed. So if price comes up here, we also have the 200 EMA, so we should also be protected by the 200 EMA on the 1 minute. So this is the best place I'd be looking to sell US 30. Yeah, but right now, and look at that, a gap to the upside. So we've been having gaps to the upside and gaps to the downside. Gold is, oh wait, I'm on the 30 minute. That's why I'm wondering, this thing is literally not moving. Save that. Yeah, EU is gonna come back down here, and it's closed below the 9 EMA, and you have this 959. Yeah, so you have this ideally an inverted bearish hammer on forex pairs. Judging inverted or bullish hammer candle is ideally a little tricky because forex pairs they don't move that heavily. So this is ideally like a 9 pip wick because that's 956, 865. Ideally a 9 pip wick. So 9 pips is actually pretty big on FX pairs. So I'd consider this a bearish, inverted bearish hammer candle, and broke below the 9 EMA on the 5 minute, formed a bearish hammer candle. So this actually here would be a sell for EU, but I'm not, let me see, I'm not looking to sell EU just yet. Yeah, if it retests the 9 EMA, yeah, I might sell EU up there. Because if it retests the 9 EMA, so we were about to form this golden cross to the top, but price has started trending down. So let me see if I can mark this up. I doubt price is gonna come that far down. So I need a retest of the 9 EMA. So this right here is the trade, but we were too late in that. So I need a retest of the 9 EMA to get into that trade. And that, on the other hand, that aligns with the bullish low. Yeah, so today, honestly, if you trade today, use low lot sizes. And this stop loss right here, if you're able to, you can do maybe, so this is a 20 pip stop loss. 73, you can put your stop loss above here so that you above this highs, or if you can do it above this zone, previous weekly open. That's a pretty large stop loss, but just to protect yourself, because ideally for me I'll do a 20 pip stop loss. So personally, yeah, I'll do a 20 pip stop loss. This trade I'll mark up. You can do, I think this is 40. Yeah, about 40 pips. So, and there US 30 is coming back up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that candle doesn't normally count. So it's the next 5 candles after the candle you're looking for the lower high or whatever to form on. So you see, even at that other sell zone, you know, retest of the 9 EMA, you would have still been in drawdown. If you entered this trade, you'd have hit stop loss automatically. So
So a perfect test is basically it touches it and just rejects it right away.
yep, rejects right away, and that candle closes. So like yesterday's gold, was it gold that we took yesterday? Yes. When that gold trade, like when we zoomed back for gold, let's see, let's wait for this candle to close. Well, it's fine because even if this candle closes, this zone will probably, it should be, so it's fine. So in any case, the next, we would be trading the next 5-minute candle on US 30. Unless this candle shoots all the way up. So like for example, yesterday's gold trade, what we did, was it gold and was it yesterday? I think, or maybe the day before. But anyway, whatever day we did that 50 pip take profit on gold, okay, still going up. Let me see. Let me try and find that entry. Go this candle right here. This candle literally touched the top of this supply zone and closed below. That is what I'm looking for to enter such trades. I'm not looking for a candle to shoot up. So even though this candle shot above and closed below, I mean, sure, maybe it's a sell, but for me, this tells me this is a perfect sell because my levels are being retested to the pip. So that is all I'm looking for the trades that I'm taking. I don't want a retest and closure. I don't want a retest and break above and closure below. No, like I want a perfect retest to know that a trade is like valid. So it doesn't, you know, for us, it's been happening frequently because, and that's why we trade 3 assets. It doesn't happen every time, but, you know, when it happens at that one time, that's when you get those heavy moves because it shows you that the markups you have make sense to the market. Yeah, so today, honestly, if nobody caught that EU buy with me, I doubt we'll get any other entries. You can see the 9 EMA keeps going lower. If there's still buyers sitting on this zone, we might expect a spike to the upside, a brief spike to the upside and continuation to the downside, but yeah, I do not see anything.
Take US 30.
Okay. So you have a retest. I still need this to be. So keep in mind we are trading a trend line within a trend line. So this trend line doesn't have a bottom. It only has a top, right? God, this is, so I'm not in it yet. I need this candle to close, definitely. But still nothing has changed. Still bearish on US 30. So I need that candle to close. I need that candle to close. I need the next one to retest that trend line. Because what happens if this candle closes above this zone, and remember, this zone hasn't been established yet as a lower high. So if this candle closes above this zone, this trade we've been waiting for is invalid. And keep in mind, we still haven't gotten confirmation that this is so this is still a hanging trend line, but you can see that for now it's being respected. So we definitely need this candle to close. Let's see the movement of this 94. Yeah, so it's not worth it, right? So even though you FOMOed in, you'd have been up like 10 points or 10 pips, that's, to me, that's not worth it. Yeah, and the market is definitely dying down. right, so we have a minute and a half to go for that. So this gap was never completely filled. I mean, it's just by 7 pips or so. Right. So I'll go to the 1 minute. See what's going on here. Trend line is holding. All right. So even on the 1 minute, I would need a perfect test. Let me see by perfect. Let me readjust this. I make sure it's touching the lower high. I think that's it. Okay. That's a lower low. What I'll do here. So if this is the case, then this doesn't. Yeah, so there's no way to. So that would be that. So that it closed above the trend line. So now, unless price breaks back down below that trend line, nothing to do there. Okay, now price rejected from this bullish zone down here. So I don't trade 30-minute and 15-minute bullish zones or bearish zones by themselves, but we can see that this level got respected. So price closed above the 9 EMA for the first time, retested exactly the 9 EMA, closed above the 9 EMA and closed above the trend line. So yeah, so this is honestly I don't recommend any trading today.
So when it retested the 9 EMA right there, that could have been a buy, right? It would have been kind of worth it too. It was a decent amount.
If I mean, define it could have been a buy. It's only a retest of the 9 EMA. If you're expecting price
Just
to
going
go,
with the confluence from the 30-minute bullish high too.
yes, that would have been a buy if you're using the confluence for buys for the 30-minute bullish high. And that's if you trade 30-minute bullish highs. So just because I don't trade them doesn't mean you guys cannot. I mean, they work sometimes, and you can see this one worked, but yeah. But for me personally, I am still biased for a sell on US30. Now, if this happens, if price keeps shooting up this way, so the only trend line that has been confirmed at this point is this one. This is the only trend line that has been confirmed because we have this higher high, we have a lower high that's below it, but then we have this higher high, even though it's not a lower high, I'm sorry, it's not a lower high, it's still part of the trend line. So this is the only trend line that's this trend line to the top, this trend line to the bottom. Those are the only two trend lines that are respecting price. This one, and keep in mind, so this one was just one trend line. Ideally, when you're drawing them, you need a channel. So you need to have a top one and a bottom one. But for this one, I drew it because I was expecting this to be established as a lower high, which it hasn't. So that's fine. So the sell will be here. Now, if price comes back down, breaks below this trend line, hanging trend line, and closes below, retests and closes below, yes, that's the only time I'll take a sell. But right now, the only sell, so I keep pushing my sell up this way. So this is how trend lines help you avoid FOMO, because they show you the next best place to enter. Right, look at that for gold. Bearish low, came down, went back up. So in this particular case, gold did not respect the 30-minute bearish zone. US 30 respected the 30-minute bullish zone. So yeah, those smaller time frames don't always hold for me. Okay, so if I'm looking for sells, this is what I want to see. Wicks to the top, wicks to the top. But my ideal sell zone is up here for US 30. We have a Friday low, previous weekly low up here. Yeah, I hate days like this when price is away from our bearish and bullish markups. Yeah, so the only trade that I took, I had 2 EU trades, the one from yesterday that I closed earlier and the one from today. Okay, so I'll go ahead and delete this trend line because this is not being established as a lower high. So again, we are back to this main trend line in between these two trend lines. On the 1 minute, about to form a golden cross on the 1 minute. So I don't trade those on the 1 minute, but this means we might have liquidity to the upside. Yeah, we might have to end this stream early because honestly, the market is dead right now. I don't see anything. I know we have like 20 minutes before the stream is over. I'm not sure if price will make it up here. So on the 1 hour, see how far is the 9 EMA. Okay, we should get some rejection here because price, we have the 9 EMA. If you look to the right of my chart, we have the 9 EMA on the hourly. So I will sell here. All right, so I took the sell on impulse. So we have the 9 EMA here on the hourly. So it's slightly above the trend line. So I'm up almost 20 pips. So this trade should be up like 20 pips or so if you got in. So that one I entered on impulse. That's why I zoomed to the right, to this right chart, because on the hourly, you can see we have the 9 EMA, and the 9 EMA on the hourly is around this zone. So I was expecting heavy rejection to the downside. Almost at profit for 50 pips. You should be at break even if you entered later. So come on. Set break even. I expect a perfect retest of the 9 EMA on the hourly, so just manage your risk properly. Personally, I will close out of that trade because I can see another shoot up. think I closed. Yeah, so that's that trade. So when I zoomed to the right, so this chart to my right, let me delete this. This is why I don't like having trend lines on my MT4. When I zoomed to the right, I looked and I saw the 9 EMA on the hourly. So this is the hourly chart to my right. So when I aligned it with the 5 minute right here, you can see the hourly, the 9 EMA is right here. And then I saw that trend line. So ideally I hopped on late, and that's why you should have secured. So I expect a perfect retest of the 9 EMA on the hourly. So still it has not, but it's only like 5 pips difference because the 9 EMA on the hourly is right there. So it's at 31,803. So I expect price to break above. So the best thing that can happen is for this candle to retest 31,803, come back down and close below, and then the next candle to retest this trend line, close below. Now that's another perfect sell. So it's been ideally quote unquote a slow day, but I was able to make my daily target. Not as much as I normally make, but that was a quick trade right there for anybody who hopped in to that trade. And that is the only time that I will enter on impulse without waiting for a closure of the candle. So even though I expect price to reject from the trend line, I had to zoom. So, always consider too what's going on higher time frames. I came to the right where I have my hourly chart. I saw there's a 9 EMA. So very rarely will you find price breaking straight above the 9 EMA unless you have like 9 EMA or 200 EMA if it's close enough, and closing above it unless it's like during heavy news. So right now we don't have any news. We have the 9 EMA here. We have our trend line here. So that's enough confluences for me to enter an impulse sell, or that wasn't enough. So if you're in that trade, you should have made at the height of that, even if you entered later than I did, you should have made at the very least 40 pips. So with a 10 lot, that was 400. Personally, I did a 15 lot, so it's even a smaller lot size than I use. Yeah, so other than that, I expect this trend line to be tested. Now, what's going to tell us, so just wait and see. So this trend line will be tested at 803, and we might have a retracement to the downside, a brief retracement. But what can happen is that price may not come back down, because ideally what we would like to see is a perfect retest of this 9 EMA, which is about to hit. And then rejection to the downside, closure below this trend line. But then on the other side, what can happen, right? It can retest that 9 EMA, reject to the downside, but close above this trend line. The next candle opens, retests the trend line, and price shoots all the way back up. So that's why I don't want to say FOMO. I'm not going to impulsively sell US30 again. If you sell it at 803, you can catch maybe 10 pips. I wouldn't go for 50 pips. So if you want to impulsively sell, don't go for 50 pips. You can catch like maybe 10 pips, but don't go for the whole 50 pips. Yeah, that's the second trade. Gold still out. Okay, so EU is coming back up. But so what we're expecting here is a retest of the 9 EMA, but the 9 EMA kept going down and down. So right now, price rejected from this demand zone. Price is pushing above the 9 EMA. So yeah, still wouldn't sell that just yet. And there you go. Right, broke above the 9 EMA. So let's see if you're gonna get a rejection. So if it breaks above and closes above this 200 EMA on the 5 minutes, yeah, I think right now we are done looking for sales, right? Because remember, how do we change our bias? We change our bias if we've been looking for sales, and the hourly, definitely we were right to look for sales because price was below the 9 EMA. But right now we have this strong bullish candle that's about to close above the 9 EMA. So for me, if this candle closes above the 9 EMA, this hourly candle, I'll switch my bias and start looking for buys for the rest of the day. But I wouldn't recommend if you've already taken this trade, which you should have either got out at break even or taken your profit. I don't recommend trading for the rest of the day. Even the pending orders, honestly, the only pending order I will send is gold. EU, there's really nothing. There's really no zone for EU. to set any pending order. Maybe down here, but yeah. I hope you guys caught that US 30 sell with me. Even though you didn't catch the EU, at least you should have caught US 30 with me. Okay, let me go in the 1 minute. Yeah, this is a very strong uptrend. Yeah, so I did say when we close, when we have this golden cross, to expect price to shoot up. And there you go. Yeah, so right now, based on how this hourly candle closes, the bias might switch to bullish. Now, this is what I'll do. If this candle closes as a bullish candle, I'll wait for the retest of the 9 EMA and I'll get into a buy at that point. And my stop loss will be below this trend line. And there you go. Very, very bullish candle. So that's that's a good thing about waiting, because if we entered a sell here, gotten stopped out, if we entered another sell on that hanging trend line, we would have gotten stopped out. So, saving your entry to a confirmed zone or to a confirmed area. So right now, no other confirmations around. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask right now. If not, we'll just be ending the stream because there's nothing more to look at for the charts. Is there anybody who has any question regarding any analysis or any trades that we took today and why we took them? All right. Well, yeah, other than that, look for how this candle will close. For me, if it closes as a bullish candle, I'll be waiting for the retest of the 9 EMA and I'll be buying that. And you can see we have a golden cross that's about to form on the 5 minute. So right now, the bias might be switching to a bullish bias. All right. If nobody has a question, see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time. We've had all wins today. Oh, we've had all wins since Monday. So we haven't had a single losing trade. At the very least, our trades, some trades have hit break even, but that's after they were heavily in profit. So nobody should have had any losses from the live session or even from the pending orders that I send on the Discord. Nobody should have any losing trades so far this week.
So
Other
you
than
said
that,
you'd wait till the retest of that trend line on the 5 minute?
no, retest of the 9 EMA. So right now, this candle is telling me that we're about to close above the 9 EMA and it's going to be a bullish candle. So for me to enter a buy, I'll wait for this candle to close and then wait for the retest of the 9 EMA on the hourly, and then I'll buy US 30. I'll have my stop loss below this trend line, because what can happen, I've seen candles like this, they fake out, have like a bullish move, and then the next candle comes in down heavily. And I think we saw that about a week ago. So yeah, US 30, I'm still bearish for US 30, but you don't have to stick to one bias. Like, let price tell you what it's going to do. So for me right now, price is telling me, hey, on the hourly, we haven't closed above the 9 EMA for a minute, right? So this is the first time, and this candle is engulfing all these other bearish candles or candles next to it. Now, on the other hand, what happened here can happen again. We had a bearish candle, a bullish candle that closed above the 9 EMA. It wasn't as strong as this, but then the next candle towards it, this is the sell that we missed the other day. So the next candle came back down heavily and the trend to the downside continued. So we are actually about to go back up there to the previous sell zone. Yeah, so this will be an area of interest for me up here. Yeah, but I do expect this 9 EMA to be retested. So if I expect that, hey, maybe I'll enter a sell up here. Yeah, but I'll be on the charts for a little while after I'm done with the live session, and I'll look for some trades because I definitely see a sell here to ride price back down to retest the 9 EMA. And then if it retests the 9 EMA and holds, catch a buy and swing all the way up. Yeah, so other than that, I'll see you guys tomorrow. But what I can tell you right now, US 30 is bullish. US 30 is bullish. Gold is gold is turning to bearish. I think EU is bullish if I'm not wrong, because because gold, we've had this trade right here. It's about to close below the 9 EMA. EU, it depends if this candle closes above the 200 or not. Yeah, but I wouldn't be looking to trade EU. So the only trade right now I'm looking at is US 30. So I expect this 9 EMA to be retested. So right now I'm looking on the higher time frame chart. So what I'm looking at, I'm looking for this to happen up to that hourly bullish. Wait, is it an hourly bullish? So we also have an hourly bullish low up there, right? But we have a supply zone right there. So I'm expecting price to retest this supply zone, come back down and retest the 9 EMA. I don't know how far the 9 EMA will be on the hourly, and then price to go back up. So unless we get another closure below the 9 EMA on the hourly for US 30, right now US 30 to me is bullish. So let me see if I can hang around for a few more minutes and see if I'll get a valid sell here. Yeah, if this was like an hourly zone, we would have taken this buy, but 30-minute zones by themselves, personally, I do not trade those. Okay, so I'll also go on my MT4 and see if I have any other. Okay, so I do have a trend line from before up there, like at this sell zone. So I'm just watching my MT4 right now. So this trend line that I have is this. It is coming from this higher high, going to
Is
this
it around 32297?
3-2. No. So the MT4 chart is different. Give me a second. Okay, so the MT4 chart is different from the trading view chart. So my trend line still hasn't been reached. Oh, is it this one? This is a 5-minute, this is the 5-minute.
Are
Yeah,
you gonna take a sell on US 30 once it touches the 9 EMA?
9 EMA, no, the 9 EMA is all the way down here. I would be taking a buy. Give me 1 second. The MT4 chart is not the same as this one for me. So I'm still waiting for price to go up on MT4 because I have a trend line up here. But keep in mind, we are definitely in a supply zone, and look at that rejection. Unless my MT4 is frozen again. So we have a trend line there. I think God. Yeah. But if you use my analysis for a sell here, you should have caught something. I did not. Yeah, because this thing froze. Yeah, but I have a trend line that's up here on my MT4. And definitely this thing. Yeah, I think the trend lines are the ones that are making my MT4 to freeze. So I have to look into that. Because there you go. And I think that's exactly where, give me 1 second. Let me show you guys something. Share. Right, this is my MT4 right here. So that's the trend line I was talking about. And I think it was around, so you can see right now, this is how my MT4 looks. So it's definitely frozen. And I think it's this trend lines that are making it freeze. So I was looking to sell there. And when MT4 loads, I'm pretty sure this will align with that stop share. It will align with that sell zone. So I don't know if anybody caught a sell up there, but I'd mentioned when I did the markup, I said that, and I did this using an arrow here. I said I was expecting US 30 to come up there, to come back down, retest the 9 EMA on the hourly, and then I was expecting this to happen. So this has already happened. So if you sold here, you should have been up 992. Yeah, you should have been up like 50 pips. Yeah, but unfortunately I missed that. I'll be entering on my phone because I really don't want to delete these trend lines because they're pretty much gold to me. Oh wait, I haven't shared my screen, my bad. Yeah, what I was mentioning is that I did this analysis, so you guys should have taken that sell up here, because I said I was looking to sell there on the hourly. I was looking for price to retest the 9 EMA, and I was expecting price then to shoot up from there. So this already happened. So price came here, it's gone back down, and this was already for like 50 pips. Yeah, so I'll be taking some of these trades on my phone, because I really don't want to get rid of and I may have to increase the RAM on my computer, even though it has like a lot of RAM. Yeah, so right now, the only thing I'll wait for is a retest of the 9 EMA on the hourly, and then I'll look for a buy on US30. But this was a perfect sell on US30. So wherever you entered it from, you should have been in profit. So even though it was at the bottom, right, 50 pips. So even though it was here at the bottom, so this zone hasn't been tested yet. So the entry should have been at the bottom, and you should have been up 975, 30 pips at the bottom, and then right now you should be at break even. Okay. I want to see if I will, because I still expect the 9 EMA to be retested. Okay, we have that gap to the top side, so and then we have that hourly bullish low right there. No. We have yeah, look at this gap. So this is what you don't want. This gap's in the market. Ideally just pushing price. So this trade for me will be an impulse trade. So it's going down to close the gap. Yeah, I'm not gonna do this because I just feel like I'm about to FOMO. So I've already made my target for the day, so there's no need for me to FOMO. I'll wait for the retest of the 9 EMA down here, and then I'll look for a buy on US30. But other than that, if nobody else has any questions, I will see you guys here tomorrow, because I don't want to break the winning streak that we have for the week. So and then there's that trend line here. If I also get a retest of that trend line, which might align with the retest of the 9 EMA, I might just a little bit further down. Let's see. So I'm still watching it. Might get that last trade. Yep, no, yeah, I'll stay out. See you guys tomorrow. And then just trade safe today. At the very least, wait for the retest of the 9 EMA, which doesn't happen like doesn't look like it's gonna happen anytime soon. All right, see you guys. Bye.